Coach, coming off of a tough overtime loss against Flagler, your thoughts on what went down tonight?
Flagler earned that. I mean, they're like I said before. I mean, they're not the Flagler of old. I mean, they're as talented as any team in this league, and Coach Warner has playing really well together. They've had a lot of experience. They played like 9 games or something. So I mean, they're playing mid-conference season basketball right now. So kudos to them. I mean, self-inflicted wounds like missed free throws and turnovers are tough. Like I said, we're trying to be patient with this group with a lot of new guys and a lot of freshmen playing, but it takes a wake-up call sometimes to get some guys rolling. So hopefully that's what happened tonight.
Down the stretch, seemed to kind of struggle to get some clean looks offensively. What do you think led to those difficult possessions?
Just lack of execution. Once again, new guys and new spots, and just basic stuff we work on every day in practice, and we just didn't execute it very well. We just got to learn from it, watch film, and hopefully improve from it moving forward.
You guys put an emphasis on assist-to-turnover ratio, and that hasn't been where you guys want it to be. How can you fix that issue and make sure that that's an improvement moving forward?
It's a great question. I'd actually like to hear your input on it. No, I asked them because, we do a lot of things in practice to emphasize turning it over, lack thereof, more assist-to-turnover ratio, and it's just, we've had kind of an MO of halfway through the second half, we just get really sloppy with it. And I think, once again, that's youth, that's immaturity, that's new guys and new positions, and a lot. You work your way through that stuff a lot earlier in the season, and we haven't been able to do it. So a lot of those early season bad turnovers, and a lot of teams have a lot of turnovers early in the season. It's just, it's just games and coming in tomorrow and working and getting better at it, and hoping one of these days it's going to click that, how we execute and how we do that.
Trent, true freshman, obviously a large burden on him as the starting point guard for this team. Missed some free throws down the stretch, but what's your message to a guy like that after a game like this where he played so great but did miss some opportunities?
Trent had some big moments, but he also had some moments that he's got to grow up. I mean, it's a situation that we've had a lot of really successful freshman point guards, and I told him he's as talented as any we've ever had. But the area he really needs to grow is mentally, being able to take ownership of the team, get us in situations to be successful. I think there was times when he looked great, and times when we didn't know what was going on out there. And I think that's just a learning curve, and it's a learning process. I mean, the future's bright, but there's a lot of things he needs to do mentally to get to a point where he's a little more consistent.
And no Tyrell tonight, but seemed like leading scorer. No one really able to establish himself as a leading scorer tonight. How important is it to develop a second option offensively without Tyrell?
Well, it's tough. I said Tyrell's a pretty good basketball player. I still think we're a pretty good team without him. Obviously, the way he impacts the game in multiple phases, that it makes things a little bit easier for other guys. And that's why these games right now could be great, because other guys are having the opportunity to step up and make big plays and make big, in bigger minutes. But we're going to have to. Injuries happen during a season. The stuff that's happened with Rel. I mean, it's really sad, and he's got to take care of his business right now. But you've got to be able to have some guys step up in those roles. Typically not the 4th game in the season or whatever we're at right now, but. So, like I said, it's practicing being able to play without guys. We've had guys be out before in the past years, and it kind of throws some guys in the fire that typically wouldn't be like that.
You've had a couple of close games, Belmont Abbey and Flagler tonight. Now you struggled a bit down the stretch to close out the games. How important is it to kind of get those games out of the way now and learn from that moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's why you've got to, especially with a newer team, usually with a more seasoned team, you have guys that have been in those situations before, that know what play to call, that know where the ball needs to go. And a lot of this is having to come from the staff right now. And a lot of the, leadership from last year on this year's team is in new roles as well, trying to have a more vocal voice in some opportunities and grabbing the new guys and telling them where they need to go. And, like I said, it's a learning process, and the whole point, as disappointing as this is, and, we still have our journeys still got a lot ahead of it. We still can learn from this and improve, and hopefully some guys can take heed of the things that we did negatively and the things we can improve on.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thanks.